So why Garfield Heights? A few reasons. First one is high rental demand. We've always had immense success with leasing out our properties. We've had very short vacancy periods, longer tenancy, and a lot of that's location. So Garfield Heights sits right in between that east-west divide, we'll call it, in the county, in the greater Cleveland area, right off the 480 exit. So in terms of location, it's extremely convenient in terms of getting almost anywhere in the county, anywhere in the greater Cleveland area. Because of that location, you get a lot of people that are working downtown, working on the far east side, working in Solon, and end up migrating to Garfield Heights because of how closely located it is and how much highway access there is. We've had, and not even just from a tenant base, these are aspects of the township or that area that prove to be extremely advantageous. It's much easier to find contractors and vendors to go out there. We can get vendors that specialize in the far east, south, north, and Garfield Heights is always an area that they always service. So we're able to stay competitive in terms of pricing, costs, maintenance. And again, we found that to be advantageous even from a tenant base as well. Housing stock is another one. We really try to target and hone in on those post-World War II build, 1940s, 50s, and 60s. In a Midwest town where homes are a bit older, we found that this era of home, relatively younger for the Cleveland market, provide less maintenance, longer term stability. We try to stay away from those century-old colonials. Those prove to be a bit more cumbersome in terms of maintenance, high turnover cost when a tenant does move out. This style home, this age of home is a lot easier to maintain, a lot easier to rehab. We're able to tackle more in terms of turnkey situations up front because it's just less ground to cover. And then again, in terms of the age, a lot of the major components are not as archaic. We're not talking about 100-year-old plumbing and electrical. And lastly, and probably most importantly, there is minimal red tape, minimal city interference in Garfield Heights. I've been a major proponent for many years because I found that with less red tape, less city interference, it's provided for less costs, more stability from a long-term perspective. For example, there are areas in the Cleveland market that have suburbs that have rental inspections, city inspections between tenants every year, every 2 years. And it really cuts into not even just cash flow. You're almost having sometimes come out of pocket to take care of these violations. The Garfield Heights inventory that we manage, that I personally own as well, once we're done with that initial purchase and rehab, we're done with the city. There are no rental inspections. They have what's called point of sale, like every other city does in the area, but it's pretty easy to overcome at the front end. We handle those repairs on the front end, being a turnkey property, and then you're done. There are situations where I've seen many homes in other neighboring townships, Cleveland Heights, Maple Heights, where it can get a bit more cumbersome because of the ongoing rental inspections. So, if I'm owning a rental property and I don't have city officials requiring or mandating certain repairs, it's going to prove for a much less strenuous investment process, less costs over time. And that's proven in terms of our longevity with our clients that own properties in Garfield Heights, because the cities are essentially leaving us alone. We don't have to sit there and go get through the weeds in terms of making sure that we're compliant with the city. So that's saving thousands of dollars over the course of your ownership, on top of just ongoing headaches. So in terms of location, rental demand, housing stock, and then limited city interference, this has proven to be rather successful in terms of investment ownership. I personally own we're up to 10 doors now, not including the turnkey properties. And I've had immense success as well. Rents have continuously appreciated. even from a transportation aspect, a lot of Garfield Heights is based on like 2 or 3 main roads, so it's easy to navigate through the city. It neighbors a couple of nicer areas, Valley View. It's close to Brooklyn Heights, which is a higher end suburb. So you're talking about surrounding yourself with high value areas as well, which is great in terms of hopefully long-term appreciation. So that's what we're looking at with Garfield Heights. Obviously, we're targeting other areas as well, but just to kind of give some context in terms of why we were heavy initially here, we wanted to provide as much long-term stability for our real wealth partners. Thank you so much.